I want to welcome you to the Ask Jeff YouTube channel. Here's today's question. In Ezekiel chapter 44, verse 3, who is the prince? Now, please note my gift of sarcasm and humor. I thought you people love me. Why are we asking questions on Ezekiel? No, in all seriousness, Ezekiel is just one of those books of the Bible that at times is so confounding. I'll be honest, it can be confusing just because there's so many intricacies, not only within the Old Testament, but also with what we know as the book of Revelation and Daniel. Now, in chapter 44, what do we have? We have a context where we have the temple of God established on the earth and the Lord is reigning on the earth. Now, what's fascinating about verse 3 of chapter 44 and a host of other places is it talks about this prince that sits before the Lord that reigns on behalf of the Lord. At the same time, you go into Revelation chapter 12, and it talks about this man-child being born to reign. Oftentimes, we interpret it that was Jesus Christ, who obviously the enemy Satan was after. But if you really get in the weeds, it almost looks as if there's somebody else other than Jesus that, quote, sits on a throne. And then you go to Psalm 110, verse 1. David talks about the Lord sitting on his throne as an everlasting throne. At the end of the day, there's so much imagery, there's so much there. Basically, what's implied in Ezekiel chapter 44 is this, that yes, the Lord is reigning. I believe based on Revelation chapter 20, it's a 1,000-year reign. But in the process of his reign, there are others that reign under his jurisdiction or his command. And I would argue that more likely than not, it could be whom we know as King David, who plays a primary role. It is not the Lord who's reigning in verse 3, but one who stands or sits before the Lord. And there's a good chance, based on Psalms 119, Revelation 12, and a host of other places, it might just be David. But at the end of the day, when it comes to Ezekiel, I don't know if I'd write it in concrete, but I wouldn't mind using a ballpoint pen. Great question. If you got one, send to askjeff.net. Maybe your question will be tomorrow. Thanks for being a part of today's daily question. Now, we answer a question each and every day. Please feel free to submit a new question at askjeff.net. We may not have gotten to yours today, but we eventually will continue to be a part of this. Subscribe so you don't miss out on a question every day.